guys! So today I'm going to be doing a record collection. I was actually planning on doing more of like a playlist style video, and I realized I film on my phone, so I can't really like scroll through Spotify and show you guys songs that way. So I figured to like compensate for that, I would just do a record collection. I've been wanting to do a lot more videos about music because music is such a huge part of my life, and I really never talk about it besides uploading like the occasional cover here and there. But other than that, I don't really talk about music a whole lot, but I want to change that. So I got all my records behind me. I'm not going to go through like every single one individually and talk about them all because that will literally be the longest video. But I figured I'd kind of go through all three of my bins and just kind of talk to you guys about what I have, which ones are my favorites, and yeah. It's so funny because I used to have someone who would comment on like every video I uploaded, and they would comment on like my Instagram posts all the time asking me to do a record collection, and I was always like, oh my god, that's so much work, I don't want to do that, like, just no. And so if you're watching this, sorry about the beef, but here it is. I don't know. So anyway, I've never really filmed in this spot of my room, don't know how I feel about it, but I just don't know how much I like the lighting right here, because especially that I'm wearing a white shirt, it's like really reflecting light. Over here in this bin I have all of my Beatles albums. I like to keep my Beatles albums separate from everything, like I do this in my car too, I don't really know why. I got this record box at Savers a long time ago, and as you can tell, we've just like sticker bombed the hell out of it. I think it's so cool, and it's kind of the perfect size for all my Beatles albums. It's getting a little full, but yeah. So as far as Beatles records, I'm just gonna pull these out. You guys can see for yourself what they are. This right here, it's a funny story, my ex bought this for me. It's been like 4 or 5 years. But this is like an OG copy of the White Album, and it's still got all the original posters and everything. Super fucking cool. I think at this point, I'm really only missing like a couple of Beatles albums. I've got some super random ones too. I've got some Paul McCartney in here. This one is like all of their love songs. I got this for 14 bucks. A lot of these are, like, as you can tell, not really in like the greatest condition, but you know, this is just what I've collected over the years. This album, I did not realize how strange it is, but I kind of dig it. It's pretty cool. I have 2 copies of Rubber Soul. This one I got for like 5 bucks, and it's got just like the weirdest songs on it. I don't know if it's like a certain pressing of it or what, but I never listened to that. Rare Beatles, I got Hard Day's Night. This one is like the original motion picture soundtrack, so it literally has like all the instrumentals and like just vocals and stuff, so I don't really listen to that one either, but still pretty cool. This is my favorite cover of Help. I literally have this tattooed on me. Yep. I got plenty of like Paul McCartney in here, and I probably even have doubles of a lot of stuff at this point, but yeah, that is like my whole Beatles collection. If you didn't know that about me, the Beatles are literally my absolute favorite band of all time. That's why I have a tattoo of them, that's why I have so many albums by them, and I don't know, I never have the heart to let go of any of my Beatles albums, so I don't know, I just really like to keep them separate, and I think that they look really good in here, and it's just like the perfect size. I'm gonna try to sit to where you guys can see what I'm doing. So I've got these 2 crates. I don't even know exactly how many records I have. I just know that I have a lot, and it's kind of stressful to go through all this. Like I said, I'm just gonna pull out albums, talk about certain ones, not talk about others, and you guys can just kind of like get a glimpse of what I have and just kind of learn about like the music that I'm into. Also, before I get into this, I got rid of all of my hardcore, all of my pop punk, all of that kind of stuff, because I think that like sitting down and like putting an album on is just like a relaxing thing, and I don't really enjoy listening to like super heavy music. Like, I like listening to like upbeat fun music, but not really like heavy music. Plus I don't even listen to those bands anymore at all anyway. But this is like kind of a restarted collection for me almost, and as you guys can tell, once I start kind of getting through these, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, like super chill music that makes sense to be played on vinyl, you know? Got some Pink Floyd, got some Sea Haven. This is my favorite Sea Haven album, I think. Got Cage the Elephant's Melophobia. That's like my favorite album by Cage. I've been listening to Cage the Elephant literally since they like put out their first album, like way back in the day. I have been just a stan ever since. Like, I don't think Cage the Elephant could put out anything bad, but Melophobia, I didn't love it at first. I didn't hate it. I was just kind of like, eh. And now it is like my favorite by them. It is so good. I got Best of the Doobie Brothers. I really only listened to the first half of this album, but it's got all of their fucking bangers on it. Doobie Brothers have turned into like one of my favorite bands of all time. They're just so fun. And of course I've got the classic Bon Iver for Emma Forever Ago. That is just, I love Bon Iver. How do you guys say it? Because I've heard so many different ways to say his name. Bon Iver, anyway. I'm not even gonna start with this shit. I got the greatest hits from The Doors. I got this album for literally like $5 at a local record store. Super good deal. Again, all their good songs are on it. You'll see with a lot of like the older bands that I listen to, I really like their greatest hits albums because it's just got all the good stuff. So like, why not? I got another Cage album. This is like Chris's all-time favorite vinyl to listen to. It's Nick Drake's Pink Moon. Such a good album. I'm the one who showed him that, and it's like literally like in his like top 5 favorite albums now, which is so cool. I got another Cage the Elephant record. I did not realize that I had so many. Bob Dylan's greatest hits. Rainy Day Woman, number 12 and 35. If you know, you know. It's like impossible to find that song, like this version of the song on YouTube. I don't know why, but this version of it is perfect. Got Coldplay, Parachutes. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about Coldplay. Coldplay is a great fucking band, and this album is an actual masterpiece. It is so good. Of course, I've got Jimi Hendrix Experience, smash hits. Got Pink Floyd, The Wall. This one I think only has like one side of it. Weird, I don't know. I got Radiohead's OK Computer. The first band that I ever got like a vinyl of. Does that make sense? When I got my very first record player, I got not this album, but it was a different Radiohead album, and I've just known since like day one, like Radiohead is a great band to have on vinyl. So good. I've got Blood Bank by Bon Iver. This one was really important for me and Chris to buy because this is the first song we ever kissed to is Blood Bank by Bon Iver, so we had to get the EP. And then we've got Iron and Wine, which is super good. I love Iron and Wine. I've been listening to them since I was in like middle school. I got this Bon Iver. That one is so pretty. Got Cage the Elephant Unpeeled. I don't even remember where we got this or like why. I think we might have got it at like Vintage Vinyl, but I'm so happy that Chris got this because literally it's great. I've got some Elvis Presley. It's where I got my username, if you were wondering, on Instagram. I got Alice in Chains Unplugged. Oh my god, you guys. This album right here, Chris showed this to me, and he's the one that like really got me into Alice in Chains, and I ended up buying this for like his birthday or Christmas or something, and I swear to god, this is just like, listen to this, okay? That's all I have to say. We have another copy of Dark Side of the Moon. Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. I've had this vinyl for so long. We picked up this Tool album. I don't think that Chris has ever listened to this, but you know, we have it. We also have Black Sabbath, and this album right here, Tom York is the lead singer of Radiohead, and this album, The Eraser, is insane. It's absolutely insane. I have been listening to that solo album of his for like years and years, and when I found it on vinyl, I was like, no way. And then I've got, of course, The Bends. So good to fucking jam to. In Rainbows. And then this was one of the first albums I ever got to, was Dookie by Green Day, and then of course I have International Super Hits, because this was like my religious OG emo jams. I've got Nirvana's Bleach. We're starting to get back into the records that we like hardly listen to. Nirvana Nevermind, and Nirvana Unplugged. I'm not the biggest Nirvana fan. They're pretty good. They're alright. But, you know, I mean, we have them, so even if we hardly listen to them, like, we don't want to get rid of them. So, Bad Brains, one of Chris's faves. We have Pearl Jam, Live in Chicago, 92. Super good. And then I bought Bob Seger's Night Moves, which I don't know that I'm going to keep that, but I don't know. I bought that one on a whim. And me and Chris used to, like, get the fuck down to Bob Seger, and we don't really listen to him anymore. But, I love talking about music so much, and, like, even though this is, like, a lot to go through, it's actually moving a lot faster than I thought it would, and oh my god, you guys, I love having records, like, so much. Like, I'm so proud of my collection, and I just can't wait to keep buying more records. Such a good feeling. So, we got this limited edition version of Skylight by Pinegrove, and it's got the regular album on one, and then the other one is all acoustic. It's so good, and it's clear. I love clear vinyl for some reason. It's just, like, amazing. Then we also have Cardinal by Pinegrove. That's, like, my favorite by them. We've got this Led Zeppelin one. My grandma actually gave this to me. So good. I have been ridiculously into Led Zeppelin lately. Like, I didn't realize how much of their stuff I knew, and I'm like, dude, like, I literally know, like, a huge range of Led Zeppelin, and they're, like, one of my top favorite bands now. It's so funny. We have Mac DeMarco, we got Modest Mouse. This is a really interesting Modest Mouse record. Chris actually got me to listen to it, and then, like, a few days later we went shopping for records, and this was just, like, there, and we couldn't find anything else, and we were like, fuck it, why not? And it sounds really good on vinyl. Got more Elvis Presley, we got Alt J. This was one of those albums, when I first started collecting records, I was like, I want that on vinyl, and it took me so long to get this, but now that I have it. We have Brand New Science Fiction. Don't even come at me about Brand New. They're just very near and dear to my heart, and I'm never gonna, like, not love Brand New and appreciate the impact that they had in my life. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You can have your own opinion on them, but don't try to start an argument. But yeah, so I've got Science Fiction. This album is absolutely incredible. I feel like so many people, and I had this conversation with one of Chris's friends when this album first came out, but, like, so many people were just kind of like, what is this? Like, did they even try? And it's like, if you actually sit down and, like, really listen to the album, like, it is insane. They make so many references to, like, past albums, and just, like, the way they put it together, like, it's a very, like, really just, like, smooth, slow, chill album, but it is a masterpiece. That's all I have to say. Obviously, I have The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me. Like I said, I have the tattoo on my arm. This is an incredible album. I get so tired of people asking about my tattoo because it's so hard to try to explain to, like, you know, a 50-year-old guy who's never heard of music even like this, explain the album name and why I have it tattooed on my body. But I'll go ahead and explain this now because I've got that guy. This album, it was, like, maybe the second or third album I got into by Brand New, and I've got this whole theory that if you guys are, like, Brand New fans and you know all about the song Limousine on this album, me and Chris kind of came up with this theory that, like, honestly, the rest of the album ties into, like, that story of that song, and it is just, like, such a crazy album, and just, like, the concept of it, and just, like, the meaning behind, like, The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me, and, like, each song on it, and just, like, it is so, just, it's an insane album, just, like, from a musical standpoint. Brand New is just so good, like, just, oh. I've got every album by Brand New, and we'll get to those later, but I've also got A Rush of Blood to the Head by Coldplay. This is a very good album. It's not quite as good as Parachutes, but it's got the song Green Eyes on there, and I have green eyes, and there's, like, no songs about people with green eyes, and the one on this album literally is just, like, oh my god. So I had to get that on vinyl. I've got the Kooks throwback jams right there. I have Ed Sheeran's Plus, and then I found these two at Vintage Vinyl. I've got Songs I Wrote with Amy and then Loose Change. I got into Ed Sheeran right about when Plus came out, and I was super into both of these, like, EPs slash, like, albums. I don't really know what they technically are, but they're honestly so good. It's, like, his super, super old stuff. Songs that I Wrote with Amy, the song, oh my god, like, that album specifically is so good. The song Cold Coffee, and then especially She, check it out. If you like kind of more like coffee shop, like jazzy style, like acoustic singer-songwriter stuff, those 2 songs by him are so good. And then Loose Change is just like a classic, and I just wanted to have that. I've got Matchbox 20, Yourself or Someone Like You. I'm one of the biggest Matchbox 20 fans like ever. They were my absolute favorite band for like a couple of years, and I still just like love them. Funny story, I don't know. Black Keys, El Camino. We've got Explosions in the Sky. Super, super chill. I used to fall asleep to them a lot in middle school. We have this album by the Black Keys, Magic Potion. That one's pretty fun to jam to. We have Good News for People Who Love Bad News by Modest Mouse. I've had this album for so long. This is such a classic. It's so good. But I have to say, I don't really reach for this one that much anymore because it is a double LP, and I don't know. I'm never, like, crazy in the mood to listen to Modest Mouse, but, like, they're so good. Do you guys have bands like that? Am I the only one? Death Cab for Cutie, Transatlanticism. Oh my god, you guys. It's so good. Like, I feel like all these albums, they're just, like, such good albums. And that's another thing, too, with, like, buying vinyl for me, is that, like, unless it's a good album, pretty much, like, all the way through, I'm not really gonna buy it. So, this is a Rise Against record. I do not listen to Rise Against, but I have it signed by every member because I went and did, like, a meet and greet at Vintage Vinyl a while back. And, if anybody wants to buy this off me, I think I've got it on Depop for about $50. Like I said, signed by every member of Rise Against. Swear on my life. And I just don't really want this. I never listened to it. I don't like Rise Against that much anymore. So, if you want this, please go to my Depop and buy this off me. We have Incubus's Morning View. Chris got this for me. I saw this in a record store right before I went and saw Title Fight back in like 2015. I didn't want to spend my merch money on a record from a different band when I could have gotten Title Fight merch, and then I also didn't want to bring this, like I couldn't bring it into the venue with me, so I had to pass this up, and then I never found it again, but I think Chris like ordered this or found this somewhere. Oh, Incubus, you guys, especially Morning View, like, this is good music to listen to when you're, like, hiking out in nature in the woods and shit. We used to always listen to Incubus when we would go hiking and, like, go out to Garden of Gods when we lived in Illinois for a little bit. And it's just, like, so nostalgic and just, like, makes you feel so good. Incubus is amazing. American Football, don't even at me for how emo that is, but from a musical standpoint, not from an emo standpoint, American Football is incredible. Just saying. We have Turnover, Ghost by Sea Haven, oh my god, Winter Forever, again, oh my god. We have Hyperview by Title Fight. This was like a limited edition tour press that they did whenever they like came out with this album. Why does it look like something's underneath this sticker? I probably really shouldn't pull this back. But anyway, it looks like something's like underneath that. But yeah, this is their like special edition from their tour when they came out with that album. We have Shed by Title Fight. We have Floral Green by Title Fight. We have Rooms of the House by La Dispute. I know these are like getting back into like the emo pop punk type of stuff, but these are all albums that I couldn't let go of because I still actually appreciate and like a lot. Rooms of the House is so chill. That's like the best La Dispute album. Daisy by Brand New. Again, absolute masterpiece. I don't know how anybody can't like Daisy if you're a Brand New fan. Like, dude. Deja Tendu, don't really ever listen to that, but obviously I have to own every Brand New here. I'm a Nightmare. I don't enjoy this album at all, but it's for the collection, you know, because I have a complete collection now. And then I have Your Favorite Weapon. I don't know how this happened. It got busted in the front, and I'm very salty about it. But we're down to the last three, you guys. We have Basement's Promise Everything, Color Me in Kindness, and Wish I Could Stay Here. And that is my vinyl collection, but I am going to show you guys really quickly. I never listened to 7 Inches really, but this is my collection. So I've got Title Fight Spring Songs, which Ned actually signed for me, which is really cool. And then Turnover, I don't even know, Chris bought that. This is my baby. This is my prized possession. The Story So Far and Stick to Your Gun Split. I never listened to this, but collector's item, spent like $60 on it. Also drew that album cover, or that EP cover. Really proud of that. So yeah, and then I've got Yesterday and Act Naturally by the Beatles, and then Fleetwood Mac's Gypsy and Cool Water. and then Title Fight's The Last Thing You Forget. That is all of my vinyl. I've got quite a few cassettes that I honestly don't even want to get into or show. Should I? Fuck. But I really want to show you guys the tapes. Is this okay that this is a long video? Better be. I think it honestly really helped too that I didn't show, because when I've tried to show, like, do a record collection before, I've pulled every record out and showed all the pressings. I'm gonna assume you guys don't care about the pressings of all of those. Most of them are black, a few of them are colored. Just a pain in my ass to sit there and show you guys every single pressing of every single album I own. So, let's move to cassettes. I'm gonna go ahead and close this so that you guys can see what I'm doing. These are my cassettes. So, I'm really sorry if I'm shaky. We never really listen to our cassettes, but, I mean, look how nice this is. Like, this is amazing. So, starting here, we have AC/DC, Tool, Coolio, we've got same Matchbox 20 album, Jimi Hendrix, same Turnover, the Peripheral Vision, we have the Beatles, I got this for $5 somewhere, I don't really know, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, the Beatles Sgt. Pepper, I feel like this is just like the worst, Blind Melon, Nirvana's Nevermind, Beatles 20 Greatest Hits, Pink Floyd, we have Citizen, Everybody's Going to Heaven, this is a really good album, Grateful Dead, The Mars Hotel, this is the main reason I wanted to film this, Welcome Cafe, I talk about them on my Instagram constantly. This is the lead singer of Sea Haven, Kyle Soto. This is his, like, solo side project thing. And Welcome Cafe is actually, like, I'm not just saying this because I love Sea Haven. Welcome Cafe is so good. Like, seriously, go check them out. Alice in Chains. More Pink Floyd. Flat Sound. This is the real emo days for me, you guys. We have 2 copies of Pearl Jam's 10. Better Than Ezra Deluxe. Literally found that at Goodwill. Really crazy. Goo Goo Dolls, Dizzy Up the Girl. I was so into that album for a while. We got same Led Zeppelin that we have on vinyl. Radiohead's Creep. This is really cool. I got it for maybe like $3. I'm like not even showing the cassettes anymore. Sorry. Brand New's Leaked Demos. I don't know where we got that, but I'm happy we have it. Maybe Chris had it. Cranberries. Then moving on to the last of it. Don't ask. The Grateful Dead. Look at that artwork, you guys. Like, can I get that tattooed on me? Because that's amazing. The Cure. I don't even know, like, when I got that. Bush, 16 Stone. Super good album. We've got Basement, Color Me in Kindness. And the very last one that I have to show you guys is Chili Peppers, Soul to Squeeze. That is literally all of our cassettes, all of our records. I've been filming for 29 minutes. Okay, you guys, that is my entire record collection, my 7 inches, and all of my cassettes. I was not expecting to go through all of that with you guys, but hopefully that was somewhat entertaining. I know that some people have really wanted to see that. I know some people probably really don't care about my records, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you stuck all the way through until the end, leave your favorite emoji down in the comments for me so that I know who my true fans are. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to me if you're not already, and hit the notification bell so that you can see when I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!